Okay, we are going to be talking about using counters. We're going to use these counters to add and subtract positive and negative numbers. And before we can add or subtract or do any of these things, we have to make sure we really understand what each of these counters is going to represent. So the first thing that we're going to have are plus signs. And you might see counters where like one side is red and one side is yellow, or like little squares where you have red and yellow. But for the purposes of what we're doing, because we're going to be drawing our counters out, we're going to use a green plus sign. And the green plus sign is going to represent positive numbers. And then the other thing we're going to use are negatives. And these are going to represent our negative numbers. And then the last thing that we want to be very, very clear about are things called zero pairs. And this is what zero pairs would look like. If I have a positive and I have a negative, this creates a pair that will cancel out, and we call this a zero pair. And anytime you have a pair of one positive and one negative that you can match up, this is going to create a zero. So these three things are really important for you to be able to add and subtract positive and negative integers.